Yo, what is poppin', guys? PTC here, bringing you guys my top 20 wrestlers in the WWE. Some honorable mentions before we jump in. Natalya, Tyson Kidd, Daniel Bryan. Natalya, because she hasn't been on TV very much lately, so I'm not sure if they're actually going to consistently use her. Daniel Bryan has been hurt. We're not sure if he's going to even come back to the WWE at this point. And Tyson Kidd, who has also been hurt, and we're also not sure about his future. So jumping in to this list, we have Dean Ambrose at number 20. Dean Ambrose has a cool gimmick. Dean Ambrose is a very solid worker. He puts on great matches with people, with pretty much anybody. Dean Ambrose can put on a good match with most people. He's got a very organic reaction from the crowd. He's one of the most over people, or he at least was one of the most over people in the business, and he got over organically. It wasn't anything like a push that really made him what he is. And he elevates his opposition. He really makes his opponents look better than they are. And he also elevates anybody in the ring with him. Look at Roman Reigns. He's elevated Roman to a different place since he's been pretty much working with him for a while now. Cons for Dean Ambrose, he has a pretty bland moveset. It's pretty much the same thing over and over again, which leads into predictability, which means he's going to hit his rebound clothesline. He's going to hit his suicide dive pretty much every match. And he's got a pretty average, bland finisher for me. They could have given him something better. Next up, at number 19, we have Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has a great gimmick. He has one of the best gimmicks in the WWE. He has a great finisher. Bray Wyatt hits his finisher with such power and such strength that it makes it look brutal, and that's what makes a great finisher great. He has deceptive stamina. Bray Wyatt can go for 30 minutes if he needs to, deceptively, because he does not look like the kind of guy that can do that. He also has a very unique moveset. He's different. He looks different. He feels different, and he wrestles different than most people do, and that is something that makes Bray great. Some of the cons, he's not a very credible character right now because they haven't booked him to be. He gets no push, which is a shame because he should have already had a title shot by now, or if not a title. He's underutilized and underused in a lot of ways, and he's pretty much, every time he is used, he's put in bad stories, such as the one with Roman Reigns right now that started out about Roman's family and anybody but you, and since it's become anybody but you, we're going to attack anybody but you, Roman. Everyone but you. Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, we're attacking everybody. So, speaking of, we have at number 18, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns may not belong on this list to some of you, but to me, Roman Reigns belongs. He is a powerful guy. He's a powerhouse. He's your big powerhouse face, and he works well at it. He does a good job of getting himself over as far as just with his work for me. I think he works really strong. I think he has very high energy, which there's not too many people in the business right now that have high energy matches, and Roman Reigns puts on high energy matches against people. Even if it is in the last 5 minutes, the energy is there, and it's really, really something. He sells pretty well to me, and that's something that a lot of people on the main roster struggle with. Roman Reigns is a pretty good seller, I think. You guys might disagree, but I think Roman sells pretty well. He's very athletic. He's an extremely athletic guy, and you're going to see that about a lot of these guys. And every single person on this list is athletic, but if I put it on the pros list, that means that they are super athletic. That means they are more athletic than everybody else. Roman Reigns is a very good athlete. Some of the cons, he's not really over yet, and that's a shame because he deserves to be with his in-ring work. Now, his mic work and backstage, people don't like him because Vince likes him, but I think Roman Reigns deserves to be over. I think he's worked hard enough for it. He's got a pretty bland finisher. He's got the spear and the Superman punch. Those are pretty bland. And he's still pretty green. I think Roman, that's a con for him. He's still fairly green. He's not nearly as experienced as some of the other people in the roster. So give him a couple of years, and Roman will definitely be a star in this business. I truly believe that. I believe in Roman Reigns. Next up, we have Randy Orton, who is the complete opposite of Roman Reigns. He has a lot of experience. Orton has been in the business forever. Randy Orton can work his ass off. He's always solid. He works well as a heel or a face. I prefer him as a heel, but he can work as a face too, and I think that that's something that Randy Orton really, he's great as a heel and a face. It doesn't really matter which one you have him as. I prefer him as a heel, but some people might like him as a face. And last but not least, he has a great finisher. The RKO, you can hit it out of nowhere. It's believable. It looks like it actually could hurt somebody. It's great. It really is a great finisher. One of the best in the WWE right now. Some of the cons, he works at a pretty slow pace. That's why his matches against Sheamus were pretty bland and boring. It's his methodical, slow pace that he works at. Another one is his bland moveset. His moveset is very, very bland. He doesn't really do many different things. I think that works to his methodical pace, and I find that as a con for him. Mainly because, he can do more than I think what they let him do. So he's got a pretty bland moveset. And to me, he's underused, even though that could be a fault of his own. Because, truthfully, he does want to start doing more of a part-timer role, which really sucks for us because Randy Orton's great. Next up we have Luke Harper. That's probably going to be a surprise to some of you guys, but Luke Harper, ever since he was Brody down in the NXT, or the not the NXT, but Brody in the Indies, he's always been somebody special. Luke Harper can work. He's got great size, but he's super athletic for his size, which is really fun to watch somebody that big be as athletic as Luke Harper is. He's a great worker. Luke Harper can work with anybody. He makes people look great. He's got a great look. Luke Harper's huge, and he's brooding, and he's big, and he's scary, but he works like a, light heavyweight / cruiserweight even. He works really quick. He works, athletically. Luke Harper's fantastic. He's got great strength too. Some of the cons, he's underused, much like Bray Wyatt, and this isn't necessarily the fault of those guys. It's the fault of backstage, which is unfortunate. He's overshadowed by Bray in a way, and overshadowed right now by Braun Strowman, which sucks because Luke Harper's a better worker than Braun Strowman, but he's been overshadowed lately. And his finisher is just a discus clothesline. It's kind of stupid and it kind of sucks, but I think he can do more. He's very athletic, so I think he could do much more than what they actually allow him to do, which it really, I don't know, it just sucks they gave him the finisher. Next up at number 15, we have the Vaudeville Ins. Now for tag teams, I'm going to use them together, not separate them. The Vaudeville Ins are on this list because they are unique. Their style is unique. They wrestle a very different style than everybody else in the business, and it looks awesome. They have a great gimmick. The Vaudeville Ins have a fantastic gimmick. This gimmick is tremendous, especially down in NXT. Gotch's hot tags could be the best in the world. Simon Gotch standing on the corner waiting for a hot tag, he's going to give you something special. He's going to give you that energy that you want to feel from a hot tag, and that is something that makes me excited to watch them every single time they have a match. Aiden English is selling, which goes very well with Simon Gotch's hot tags. Aiden English can sell his ass off. Aiden English is fantastic at selling. He sells death every time he's in the ring just to get Simon Gotch that hot tag, and they've got a cool finisher, the Whirling Dervish. It's got a cool name. It looks cool. Their finisher's awesome. Some of the cons, I don't know if their gimmick's going to work on the main roster. I really hope it does, but I'm kind of nervous that it won't. And working apart, I'm not sure how they're going to work apart if they ever decide to split them up. I know Aiden English can work anyway. Simon Gotch working alone, I'm not sure about yet. I'm not sure if he can actually, go, especially being in a tag team for so long. It's going to be interesting to see if they ever split them up, if they can actually go alone. Next up at number 14, we have the Bulgarian Brute himself. We have Rusev, the first of a list of people with no first names that have been stolen away from them. But Rusev is an amazing athlete, especially for his size. He's the super athlete. He is incredible. Rusev is spectacular because he's such a big guy with great strength and amazing athleticism. He puts on A+ matches with pretty much anyone. Rusev, if you're watching a Rusev match, you're going to get something special. And I love watching Rusev work because he can work his ass off. This guy is one of the best ring technicians in the WWE today. He has a great look. Rusev has a great look. He's much like Luke Harper. They both have a great look about him. Rusev is a scary, big, brooding heel, and that is fantastic. Cons, he has a limited gimmick. His gimmick is just a foreign guy, and we've seen in the past how that gimmick can kind of fizzle out, and it has to this point. Next up, he has bad storylines. He had a bad storyline against John Cena. It was good until they started, letting Cena win every match. Then the story kind of got bad. And also, he has a pretty bland finisher. I want them to give him another finisher to do before the Accolade. That way, it won't be so bland, and we'll actually get to see Rusev do a really cool finishing move before he submits people. Next up, at number 13, we have Neville, another man whose first name has just escaped him. Neville is spectacular. He's got great athleticism. He's one of the most athletic people in the company. He has a great finisher, the Red Arrow. It is a fantastic finisher for him. It really works, and it really looks great when he does it. It's a work of art every time he pulls it off. Adrian Neville has a great moveset. He can do anything you want him to do, and he does it well. Deceptive strength, Adrian Neville, really, really strong for his size. He's a really short guy. Cons, mic work is a little iffy. I haven't really heard him on the mic much. We got to hear him more in NXT than we do on the main roster, which, if you really want to work on a guy, you really need to get him out there and have them talk on the mic, but whatever. And he's got no character. They haven't given him a character because they haven't given him any mic time, so yeah. And he's poorly booked. Neville should be the IC champion right now, and Owens should be the US champion. That's the way it should have been. But Neville is poorly booked. He was in a feud with Bo Dallas, who he squashed when he first came up, and now he's in a feud with Stardust, and he just got squashed by Sheamus. So, yeah. Next up, we have Apollo Crews, who probably will be higher on this list in about 6 months. Apollo Crews is an amazing athlete. Just look at this guy. Look at him. He's an amazing athlete for what he and look at this guy. He's freaking huge. He is jacked, but he is an amazing athlete. He is insane. He's got great strength. Apollo Crews, he's strong. Look at him. He's a monster. His agility in ring is probably one of the most agile people in the ring, in the company, and his moveset is varied. It's different. It has a good feel to it. I like Apollo Crews and what he showed us so far. The cons for Apollo Crews, maybe his finisher could use some work. I don't like the moonsault, the standing moonsault too much, and his height. I'm a little nervous about his height. And the only reason I say that for him instead of Neville is because I want Apollo Crews to be a main event type star, and I'm nervous that his height, along with his race, backstage is not going to go over well with Vince and Kevin Dunn. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I do love Apollo Crews. I really hope that I hope that Vince and Kevin Dunn get behind this guy because he can main event. He's a star. Next up, we have Samoa Joe, very, very experienced wrestler. His submissions are unmatched. He has very deceptive ability. You look at the guy and you think, oh my god, what a fat slob, he's never going to be any good. This guy can work his ass off. He's tremendous in the ring. He's got a cool finisher, the Muscle Buster. He busts people's muscles. That's a really cool finisher. He does a good job with it. Some of the cons for Samoa Joe, I couldn't think of much. His age is a little old, I guess, and his entrance music sucks. Next up at number 10, we have Hideo Itami. Hideo Itami is electric. Hideo Itami, every time you see him in the ring, I know I'm going to get a good match. Anytime I see him in the ring, I know that he's going to deliver a solid match. Next up, another pro for me is the GTS that he hasn't used yet. I hope he uses it because it is a work of art. Hideo Itami is great. His GTS is unmatched, unrivaled. Even though Punk kind of, borrowed it from him, I think Hideo's is better. Not hating on Punk, but Hideo Itami hits that move so well. He's got a great moveset. Hideo Itami can do anything that he wants in the ring, and it shows with his moveset. Hideo Itami's great. His experience, Hideo Itami is very experienced. He worked in Japan for God knows how long. This guy can go. This guy can work, and this guy can really perform. Some of the cons, he's injured right now. He's going to come back very soon, but hopefully injuries don't become a consistent problem. Another con is he doesn't really have a character right now. He's, he was up and then he was injured, so it's pretty much there was no time to build him a character. And his English is pretty bad, and that kind of sucks for him. He's got pretty poor English right now. He'll get better, and I'm not saying that as a con for, him moving forward. I'm saying that it just kind of sucks that he can't really speak English very well right now. It's going to get better, though. I know it will. Next up at number 9, we have Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze is probably a surprise on this list for most of you guys. His moveset is fantastic. His aggression is what sells me on this guy. Because as a heel, you're supposed to be aggressive and angry and mean, and Tyler Breeze really exemplifies that in his matches. Tyler Breeze is aggressive. He's an asshole, and he really, really drives home the fact that he is the heel. Tyler Breeze can sell his ass off. Tyler Breeze is tremendous when it comes to selling. He can sell anything. And his facial expressions, that goes along with selling, but his facial expressions are the best for me in the WWE. Some of the cons, his main roster potential, I don't know about his gimmick going forward. He's got a pretty generic finisher in the supermodel kick, and Dolph Ziggler is another con for me because people are going to draw that comparison. I do not. I think that Tyler Breeze it works 10 times over Dolph Ziggler. I think he's a lot better in the ring than Ziggler. Ziggler's great and he sells good, but selling is not all it takes to be a great worker, and I think Tyler Breeze really passed Ziggler over. Next up, we have another shocking entry, which is Jordan and Gable. These two guys, man, these two guys are special. They are stars. Chad Gable is a star, S-T-A-R. They're both amazing athletes. They were Olympic gold medalists. They were world champions and things. I know that Gable was a medalist. I don't remember Jordan if he was in the Olympics at all, actually. I don't know that Gable won gold either. Maybe I'm just getting too much of a Kurt Angle vibe. Anyway, they're both amazing athletes. Jason Jordan's hot tags are fantastic. The drop kicks, I should have put Jason Jordan's drop kicks too because he's got the best drop kick that I've seen in a long time. They're both great technical wrestlers. The technicality in the ring from both of them is tremendous. They're the best. They could potentially be the best workers in NXT. They really could be. They're definitely the best tag team workers in NXT. Cons, I can't think of any. If you guys can think of something, then let me know, but I cannot think of a con from these two guys. They are tremendous. Maybe Jason Jordan's mic work, I don't know. At number 7, we have Finn Balor, the NXT champion Finn Balor. Finn Balor is a very good worker. His fast-paced matches really drive home to me. I love the electric feel to him. He works a very fast-paced for the most part. I really do appreciate that. He has a decent finisher. I put it under pros because most people have shitty finishers, and his finisher's not shitty. It's pretty okay, so it's under pros for right now. It's actually going to probably be under pros and cons. It's decent, but it's also kind of eh. So it's going to be under pros and cons. I'm kind of in between on his finisher right now. He puts on A+ matches against anybody. I know he's worked with some great wrestlers in Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, but this guy puts on really good matches. He really, really does. And he's got star potential. He can be a star. This guy can be a star. I don't like his character, and like I said, his finisher is kind of meh. It's decent, but it's also kind of eh, so I'm putting it in both categories. But his character, for me, it's just not hitting me. I hope that they change it. I hope they turn him heel. I hope they get rid of the demon. There's a lot of things they should do for this guy, so just do something. Do something for his character, because right now, he's just a guy that paints himself. Next up at number 6, we have another shocker, Asuka. Asuka, in one match in the WWE, established herself better than any single other performance I've seen thus far as a debut performance. Now, I'm reaching back a little bit to her days in Japan, but I'm also going to talk about how great she just is in general. She is super agile. She could be the fastest person in the WWE as far as moving around a ring. She's so quick, and it's effortless. It's completely effortless. It looks like it takes her no effort at all to just move around. That's amazing. Her submissions are top notch, probably best in the company right now. The way that she can transition from a sleeper hold to an armbar to an ankle lock to a leg lock to a knee bar, it's a work of art. Her matches are works of art. She's got a great moveset. She can do anything she wants. She's awesome. Her experience plays a factor as well. She's very experienced. I really, really love Asuka. And her character's cool. She's got the duality that I wanted Finn Balor to have, but she's got it instead, and it works for her. She does a fantastic job with it. And Asuka's cons, give me one. Just give me one. Maybe she hasn't worked enough matches in NXT, but give me anything else. I can't think of anything else. At number 5, we have Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, the best wrestler in the WWE as far as ring psychology. She gets it. She knows how to tell a story in the ring. That is Sasha Banks. She, more than anyone else, knows how to tell a story. She has a great finisher. I love the Banks statement. It's a backstabber, shades of Carlito, into a crossface, and it's fantastic. She's very athletic. Sasha Banks is probably the most athletic diva on the roster. I know they say Naomi is, but I think that Sasha's more athletic than her. Her character is fantastic. On the main roster, they kind of fucked her character up. That's under the cons. I feel like hopefully they fix it now that she's on the main roster full time. But she puts on 5-star matches. 5-star match every single time she's in the ring. Unless it's with Nikki Bella or Brie Bella, but that's a different story. Next up at number 4, we have another surprise. Sami Zayn. I know that he probably should have been on this list, but I'm betting that some of you are surprised he's either this low or this high. So Sami Zayn, right where he is at number 4. His moveset is fantastic. He can do anything he wants. Athleticism through the roof. He can do anything he wants there. He puts on A++ matches constantly. He's very versatile. He's a great worker. It sucks that he's hurt right now, but he's coming back pretty soon, so that's nice. His finisher is kind of bad. I don't like the haluva kick. I want him to have something else. And I can't think of anything else, so question marks it is. By the way, if you guys can think of any cons for these guys in the question marks, then just let me know. But number 3, we have Cesaro. Another man who lost his first name. Cesaro's pros list is very long, but I'm going to shorten it up to about 6 of them or 5 of them. Cesaro has world-class strength. His strength is unmatched. I feel like he could just lift the ring if he chose to. If he wanted to go outside and lift up the announce table over his head, I feel like he could. His agility is amazing for a guy as strong as he is. His moveset is spectacular. He can do anything that he wants. He does things that other people can't do. He's very high energy. Another thing, that I mentioned about Roman Reigns and Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, this guy's electric. When he's in the ring, it's a high energy. It's a great feel to a match. It's fun to watch. Cesaro is very fun to watch, and he puts on tremendous matches with anybody. Unfortunately, Cesaro has no push. They've just completely killed him. He's underused, and his finisher is kind of boring. The neutralizer just kind of bores me. At number 2, we have Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is an amazing athlete. He is extremely strong. He's got the best moveset in the WWE. His moveset is so varied, he can do anything he wants. And I said that for a couple of people, but this guy can literally do whatever he wants. He actually can. He's got a very fitting finisher for him, a pop-up powerbomb. It fits him very well. He's the best heel in the WWE. Best true heel. He is a true heel. He works as a heel constantly. There's never any breaking kayfabe for him. He's always a dick. Look on Twitter. He's a dick. He never breaks kayfabe, even on Twitter. It's great. He puts on star quality matches. He's a 5-star caliber performer that they have squandered. Unfortunately, he was buried by Cena. That part really sucks. That part really sucks. Because if they would have let him beat Cena for the U.S. title, it would have propelled him to being a star. Instead, they're trying to build him back up now. His storylines kind of suck. His storylines against Cena was fine, but then he lost, so that made him suck because he was talking about he's going to beat Cena's ass and he didn't. Next up is his backstage help. He doesn't have any. Triple H likes him, but Triple H doesn't fucking matter on the main roster. It's Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn's show, and unfortunately Kevin Owens is not in their good graces. Somebody that is in good graces, at number 1, we have the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the most amazing performer on the roster today. He is the best worker, the best performer, the best seller, the best everything. Seth Rollins is the best. He's super athletic. He can do whatever he wants in the ring. He can flip, he can kick, he can punch, he can suplex you, he can hit you with a fucking Chaos Theory, Canadian Destroyer, whatever he wants. Speaking of Chaos Theories, Chad Gable hit a Chaos Theory on Baron Corbin on NXT TakeOver. If you didn't see it, you guys should look it up. It's fucking awesome. He's got great backstage push. He's got the push. He's got them behind him, and that's something for him. It's really good. He puts on 5-star matches, and he can work with anyone. He's good against anyone. Kane and Big Show cannot squander this guy. He still puts on good matches with anybody. He's the most exciting guy to watch in the business. He's the most exciting person in the company to watch. Seth Rollins is spectacular. Unfortunately, he lost his finisher. That blows. The curb stomp was a cool finisher. It really was. It was one of the best finishers that I thought. It's one of the best finishers in the business, I thought. So, it really sucks. He's got a very unfortunate character. They booked him as a whiny heel. And he's got no stars to fight. Where's the star face? Who is the biggest star face in the company right now?
His name is John Cena!
Yeah. Pretty much. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. These are my top 20 wrestlers in the WWE today. So, who are your top 20? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if there's any question marks under cons, let me know what you guys would say as a con for some of these guys, if you can even think of one, because I could not. So, tomorrow or the next day, there will be a video going out of my top 10 characters / gimmicks in the WWE today. This is going to be a little different than this one because this is all about your character, your gimmick, how good you are on the mic. That's what it's going to all feed into, and I can promise you Seth Rollins does not top that list. So, make sure that you come back, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you stay tuned to the channel. There will be Raw reviews, there will be Hell in a Cell reviews, there will be all kind of things going on here, so make sure that you stick around for that. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.